Hi folks, welcome back to the channel once again. Thank you very much for joining me. You are always most welcome. Well, today, ta-da, it's the VE Day 80 years of VE Day celebrations, commemorations, and I thought it was very fitting of all weekends that we would perhaps try and have this auction for Ukraine that I've talked about a number of times, and I've been trying to get organised, and it's quite complicated, I can tell you, and there's lots of elements you have to take into account. Anyway, it's going to happen. Now, I'm going to run through today what the actual lots of the kits are, what we've got, and what you can look forward to seeing. So first of all, I want to just explain how it's going to work. So I have to say that I've had the offer, a very kind offer indeed, from Jason at Model Kit Stuff. I actually sort of asked him if he could possibly help, because the more I looked into this, the more it became very clear that this is not something you can do live on your own. It's going to be really difficult. It wouldn't work as a one-man band, you know what I mean? So what we're going to do, it as a StreamYard live show on YouTube. So it's probably going to be, we think it's going to be probably 7:45, 8 o'clock. I'll confirm this in the next 48 hours. So it's going to be on Monday the 5th, Bank Holiday Monday in the UK. So it'll be Monday evening, it's kind of a normal slot. We're going to run the auction live on YouTube, and we're going to take the bids in the chat on YouTube. So it's very important that I sort of explain to people how it's going to work and how it'll be different from other shows. Now, this whole thing is about a charity auction. This is not me selling off unwanted items from my stash. Some of these items are so new that they only arrived in the last 48 hours at the time of making this video. One of them is so new it still hasn't arrived, but I'm still going to put it in the auction because it is literally in the country and just hasn't got to my front door yet. I know it's actually here. It just hasn't got, the Royal Mail haven't got their act together anyway. We won't moan about that. So what we're going to do, the way it will work will be, I'm going to show you now, one by one, what the lots are, pretty much in order that you'll see them. And I'll give you an idea what the starting price will be. Now, the purpose of this auction is it's purely for charity. I'm not going to get a penny out of this. I'm not seeking to gain any financial gain. The only gain I'm going to get is some space, because some of these kits are quite big actually, so they're taking up a bit of room, and especially the recent ones, which seem to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, most of them have been donated by ICMs. We've also got some from Litarki, also in the Ukraine. We've got a mini art kit, which is actually one I purchased, but they're obviously a Ukrainian company, but they've now relocated their production to Poland, but they're still Ukrainians, so I thought this was appropriate. So how it's going to work is, first of all, the causes, the good causes, let me just put that back up there, it's about to fall off, I think. We've got two charities which I'm going to support, and I'll show you who they are. I'll show you now, in fact, get that out of the way, because it keeps it simple then, doesn't it? So let's just get into that, and I will give you an idea what we are talking about. So first of all, I've decided to split the charity donation, the total amount that's raised, be split 75-25. 25% of it is going to go to an animal charity, because I know a lot of you will probably feel the same way sometimes. This terrible war in Ukraine has been grinding on there for its 4th year, and some of the animals, it's some horrible stories and scenes that you see. Also some heartwarming stuff where people are rescuing these animals. And there are lots of people doing this. There's local people in Ukraine, there's big organisations. One that caught my eye, is actually this one. It's 4 Paws. Let me zoom you in and show you. So you'll know, before we get into the kit, you'll know exactly why we're doing this. So it's the 4 Paws charity. Now, 4 Paws actually is an organisation actually based in Vienna, Austria, but they are very active in Ukraine, and I've seen quite a number of examples of them saving animals. There's some very interesting stuff actually. They're helping bears here, but there's been footage of them rescuing wallabies from the zoo, and I can't remember whether it was in the Donbass or if it's Kharkiv. You'll forgive me because I'm not brilliant on my Ukrainian geography, but This is all in Ukraine that you're seeing here. They've saved some horses, Because of course there's a lot of this war has been fought on farmland, of course, across the countryside. Now there's some very, very interesting particular stories which I thought I had actually on the screen. I'm just going to go back a section here. Because they were talking about a couple of cat stories and a couple of dog stories, which animal welfare. We've got a problem. Okay, I've got some technical problems there, but we won't worry about that. Let's just. They showed there's some specifics, and they do some videos from time to time on YouTube as well, where they've been doing these rescues. And getting animals that have been in terrible conditions where they're absolutely petrified, some of these creatures. People's pets, helping them rehome the pets for people, sadly, civilians in Ukraine that have been killed. And this organisation's been doing some really, really good work, and I've been quite impressed by what I saw. I've actually got a slight problem with my internet at the moment, so I'm not sure I'll be able to show anymore. A slight technical issue there. Yes, I know what the issue is. I think I may have just fixed it, actually. I was in airplane mode because I didn't want it to interrupt us if it starts bleeping with other stuff. Let's just go back and see if I can show you that again. There's a particular one. Yeah, here we go. There are some very interesting ones on dogs and cats, and I'm sure we can all identify with this. These poor animals. That, of course, dogs and cats hate loud noises generally. I mean, I've got a cat, and she's terrified of her own shadow, to be honest. Saying about they've got partners in neighbouring Romania and Moldova, and they come across the border to help to rescue these animals and to get them out, or to try and find them, rehome them and find them homes, etc. But there's some particular stories. There was one about a couple of cats. I think there's one called Project Kishka, which is about cats in particular. And they actually had a cat called Mozart, which had one eye, had lost one eye. Very heartwarming, and they'd rescued this cat, and then sadly it actually died just before Christmas. It actually had a stroke. Wasn't a young cat though, but they did a great job and gave it a better quality of life than when they found it, that's for sure. And there's been quite a number of ones they've saved and rehomed, and they've moved them out to other parts of Ukraine, things like that. Anyway, I'm not going to go on about it, but a very worthy charity indeed. fourpaws.org.uk. That's the UK website, but so they're actually based. The actual organisation is based over in Vienna, but they're a registered charity in the UK. Certainly has impressed me with that. The other one was, and the more important one perhaps really, is this one, and this is the one I've decided where 75% of the money raised from the auction I'm going to do is going to go, and it's this organisation, a company called Ukraine Relief. Now they're actually based in the south of England, Bournemouth, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But they again have done some really good, fantastic work. Now, I did have a bit of a problem. One of the reasons I've been sort of slow in getting this thing organised, it's just been the fact that I don't want to criticise any organisations here, but quite a few of the bigger organisations, charities, they sort of have a page where it says, oh, Ukraine appeal, blah, blah, blah. And then when you actually start digging into it in a bit more detail, there's no guarantee your money's going to go anywhere near Ukraine. And there was one where it was going to be redirected to Gaza and other places. Now, it's fine to have different, if they want to do that and do a Gaza appeal, but don't be misleading people. I don't like that. And there's several of them where I just didn't feel confident that the money that will be raised will go to the right place. These guys, on the other hand, these are fantastic. Let me zoom in. So it's got here some of the things that they've achieved. Whoops, let me just get you zoomed, because this really did impress me, that they're actually doing something and in the country where it's needed the most. I mean, a few days ago we've had missile strikes, even the last 24, 48 hours in major cities. Kyiv was hit. I think Kherson, and I'm trying to remember the other place that I read was hit. Was it Kharkiv? But there's been strikes against civilians in the last 24, 48 hours. It's horrible. These guys, 5,000 tonnes of aid, 15 million pounds of the retail value, 360 truck and van deliveries, and they've delivered 40 ambulances. These guys are also one of these organisations that arranges vehicles, especially ambulances, because that's probably one of the most important things, that ambulance and firefighting equipment that they can get, really, for the civilian population, But if you have a look at their website, you'll see that there's this the chap who set it up. I'm not sure if he's actually Ukrainian or Polish who originally set it up, but it's got some really good background and shows their guys in theatre working. And yeah, I was very impressed with them, to be honest. And at the end of the day, I've got to pick one, one of these charities, and I felt that these guys delivered generators, food parcels, medical aid, water. Shows some of their volunteers here working in the field, so to speak, in theatre. Shows them at the distribution centres, travelling across from the UK as well, and driving all the way across Europe. Duvets, they've been organising medical beds, duvets, firefighting equipment, water, studio equipment, all sorts of things, purification tablets for water. And there you go, it's they're saying, aid with integrity, urgency, aid that has impact, no bureaucracy, donate now. And they're a British, Karol Zviacki, I'm probably murdered his name. Karol Zviacki sounds kind of, it almost sounds Polish, but he could just be from the north of Ukraine. And he said here, he was being interviewed in Bucha, where the terrible massacre took place a couple of years ago. And he wants the people of Ukraine to know that the free world is with them and that we have not forgotten them. And thank you to their partners. Another thing that impressed me is that this company's got some quite impressive partners. They've got JP Morgan, the bank, P&O Ferries, Stena Line Ferries, the football club, the amateur football club in Bournemouth, and DPI Printers. Quite a few companies that have got some credibility that are also supporting them. So again, gave me a bit more confidence that I think we're doing the right thing here. Anyway, that's the background. So those are the two charities. So they'll get 75%, and the cat and dog thing, animal charity that rescues the animals, saves them. They're going to get to the 25%. Now, let me get straight into it. So here's what's going to happen. So if you want to bid on any of these things, I'll kind of repeat this at the end. If you want to bid, you may see them now and think, I really like that, Now we're putting them in with a starting price. This is not, the whole purpose of this is to raise money for charity. It is not to give out cheap kits. Now I'm not expecting people to pay double or anything stupid like that. But please bear in mind that if you at the end of the day, these starting prices will be cheaper. But as the bids come in, they will get to the same as you might get in the shops. But if you buy it in the shops, you're not going to help Ukraine, apart from a little bit going back to the manufacturer. So it really is about, you've got to think of it as you are getting a new kit. Most of these are, some have been handled, but I think I just wiped my eyes, so I shouldn't do that on camera. But generally, these gloves are just fresh on, just put them on literally 4 or 5 minutes ago. So they're always handled without human contact. They're effectively brand new. Some of them are brand new. So I'll point out as we go through which have not been touched at all. Some have not been opened at all unsealed. Some have not had the bags unsealed. So you're getting a brand new kit and you're going to help people. You're really going to make a difference. I know it's not going to be enormous or anything, but every little helps, And at the moment, they're having such a tough time. I mean, the last few weeks have been, I think, emotionally really stressful for them. Quite apart from the physical stuff that goes on every day, it's just horrendous. So please think of it as donating. Think of it as you're making a donation and you're getting a free kit. You think of it like that, and I promise you the kits will arrive in incredibly impeccable condition. We do pack them really well. My wife will see to that. She's very good at it. She sells stuff on eBay herself, and the feedback that she gets about packaging is always brilliant. So trust us, you'll be very happy with the condition they arrive in. They're all mint condition or brand new. So you have to just think of it as, I'm buying brand new products, I'm making a donation that's genuinely helping other people. None of the money's going to end up in my bank account. What I'll actually do, we'll set it up so the winning bidder, if you win the item, and we're not going to, I don't think we're going to do it in a timer system. I think we'll just do it like a proper professional auction, and I'll decide any more bids, last call, final chance, blah blah blah. I haven't got a gavel, but I'm sure I'll think of something, perhaps my remote control. But once you've won something, we'll ask you to email me, which is why I showed my card there. We'll show that again, and I'll put it in the description, etc. Just email me, say I'm the winning bidder, and my bid was so much. And then what we'll do, we'll set it up so that you'll then pay me via PayPal. Now, whatever you bid, the winning bid will not include postage. However, again, there'll be nothing added here. There'll be no tricks or traps. It's not a con. It'll be just genuinely passed on. Whatever the Royal Mail charge is, and you'll see that usually it's on the actual label, isn't it? So you'll only get charged what it actually costs to transport it to you and get it in mint condition. We'll probably go with, if you're in the UK, and I think it's more sensible for most people in the UK. If you're in Europe, I think it's probably still going to be okay, but it's going to cost more. If you're outside of Europe, I think be a bit wary. One or two of you have already said, show me who the charity is, and we'll make a donation to the charity either to me via, you can make it to me and I'll pass that on and add to the total that's being donated. That would be nice, because at least then it's all together with everybody else's donation. We can come together as a community. But we'll do that whereby once everybody's paid, I'll then make the total lump sum donation to the two charities, and I'll show you evidence of that afterwards. So everybody's happy, especially, a lot of you are going to get some fantastic kits, I think, and you can sit back and think, yeah, I actually helped these people and they need help at the moment. So just so you know, though, I'm also helping. I've just done some, I've got my list. I've got the list. It's a new list about the auction, yeah? And according to the list, I'm actually donating £882 worth of kits. I thought it was about 600 quid. I was absolutely stunned when I looked at that. Now it may be, if you bid generously on the individual items, it may go well over £1,000. I was hoping to generate about 500 or 600 quid. I think it's likely to go higher than that now, seeing those numbers. So we'll start off with the price that's lower than you pay in the shops, and then you can bid against each other. And everybody will be, I'll be very grateful. Jason's going to help out. He's going to help run the auction in terms of, it's very difficult when I'm talking, and I'm going to basically be the auctioneer, and I'm going to be talking about the product, and I'll be really hyping it up and selling it to you, of course, but also talking about that, maybe a bit of the history as we go, as we're in the middle of the bidding. If it goes a bit quiet, I'll give you a bit of a rocket up the rear end, just to remind you how important these various subjects are. And then Jason will be watching in the chat for the bids, because I can't do everything. Obviously, this is the problem. It's very difficult to be talking about the thing, taking the bids, and not missing other bids, and it's quite, it's going to be quite tricky. Now, we're not professional auctioneers; we're complete amateurs. So bear with us. But if any of you see these items now, I'm going to put them on YouTube. I'm going to put some photographs on as well to help, so you can see them again in case you forget. If you want one of these and you want to make a pre-auction bid, and say, well, I'll give you 50, 60 quid for that, or 65 quid for that, then please drop me a message, and if you make a firm bid, we'll make that the starting price. If anybody bids three figures for any of them, for any kit, I think it would be maybe, it's so difficult to know how to do this, isn't it? I was going to say, if anybody bids three figures, if anybody bids 2.5 times the street value, I'm not saying you should, please don't think I'm trying to push this, but if anybody bids that high, then I think you instantly win it. I think you'll get it if you then pay, if you're really keen on one of them and you want to make that donation. But don't feel you have to go that high at all. I'm just saying, it gets crazy. I don't want to, if you really want it and you say, I'll give you 50 quid, and then we sort of start at 50 quid, and it gets very tough then, doesn't it? Because you've sort of made the effort, and then you may not get the benefit at the end of it. It always annoys me when I watch auctions, perhaps people that deserve to get the kit don't always get the car or whatever it is. They don't always get it, do they? We'll have to play it by ear a little bit, but if there's any of you want a particular kit that you see here, please let me know what you'd be prepared to pay for it, and we'll think about it maybe before the auction and maybe come to an arrangement. But the idea is, we've got 19 lots. There's actually much more than 19 items, because some you'll see are grouped together. So why don't we get into that now, and then as I say, we'll have a starting price. And I'll tell you what the starting prices are going to be as I'm going through now, so you know exactly where we stand. So I'll move that out of the way, because that's in the way there, actually. And we'll go through. So lot number forgotten, I do need that. Lot number 1 is the very unusual one because it is the only kit that is not present yet here. So 2 things about that. It's so new, it's only just arrived in Britain on a plane. It has actually been here for about 2 days, so I'm not sure what the delay is. It's raw mail. But it's so new, this kit, that it hasn't physically turned up in the shops yet. You can only pre-order it. So this is a pre-order, auction for a pre-order. I'll show you what the item is. And I'll tell you what it is. First of all, I'm going to wish I'd switched that off now. No, I am. Let's just go back to airplane mode. Otherwise it's going to interrupt me. There it is. So the item is this fantastic little beauty. Brand new, just been announced, just come out. It is the brand new Litarki. It's their 4th kit on the market. And it's the new, brand new TU22. Whoops, daisy, that's not very good. Too many reflections by far. Okay, there we go. Got it? Too many? Too many. The TU23 M3 backfire C. Now this is the modified backfire that's carrying these, is it the HA-33, is it? The air launch cruise missiles. And this is in the Ukraine Armed Services Air Force. Excuse me. It's in their service, not the other team. It's 1/144th scale. And it's still reasonable size. Now this kit, kit number 14402, brand new. I say so new it's not even here yet, but it will be here. I'm confident it'll be here by midweek, only delayed because of the bank holiday. It's got a retail price on the market of £45 approximately. Okay, so this is going to start and this is going to be lot number 1. And it's going to be going on sale at £35 starting price. Okay, now this is a lovely kit. It comes with a lot of stuff. It's got photo etch, it's got resin 3D printed engine nozzles, which are really nice. And when I did the original review, I found out later I'd rather done it a disservice because they were better than I thought they were. But anyway, we'll get to that. But they've got photo etch. The resin has actually got this beautiful texture to them, realistic sort of the veins on the inside and on the outside, very nice. It's got a mask set, it's got everything. It's got everything you need is in the box. It's a cracking kit. It's very desirable, especially at a starting price of £35. So I'm expecting that to be popular. So if you're in any doubt what it's like, go see the earlier version of it. I've done a review of it, the TU22. That's going to be a corker. So we can get rid of that now. So that is lot 1. So starting at £35 and see where it goes. Lot number 2 is this one, and this is the ICM, and this is the aircraft stand set. And again, very pertinent for that one we just mentioned because it's got 1/144th scale, 72nd scale, or 48th scale, and you can mix and match it however you want. If you cut the slot the right shape and size in your kit, you can use any old stand. It's entirely up to you. So you've actually got 3. There's one of each, as you see. What you see on that in that image is what you get in the box, and then on the side it just shows you. There's the 3. MiG-25 in this case. So this is lot number 2, and this is kit number A002 from ICM. Really nice stand set, and we all like a stand, don't we? Price-wise, retails around about the £10 mark, and we're going to have a starting price of £7.50. So that's the second one. Now the third and fourth are going to be very easy. The third lot is the ICM Marston mat. I just want to make a quick comment about the way these are packaged, by the way. I have shown these already. All these kits are completely sealed, resealed, but they are professionally resealed, as you can see, exactly as per the ICM factory sealing. Everything's back as it was. This has been on review, but don't let that put you off. If you remember, I didn't take it out of the bags. So that's the 172nd Marston mat for your, Mustang or P47. Kit 72215. And you can bag that anything from £7.50 or more. More. And again, this is what I want to get into people's mind. Please don't be chasing the price. This is to help people who need funds badly in Ukraine. Do you know, we could raise £1,000 here quite easily, I think now. Now I've seen the numbers. So I had never actually totted it all up before. So please think about that. Please don't be trying to chase the lowest price. Give generously. Give generously. This is, these people have given us these kits for review, and you and me both get pleasure and get benefit from seeing them at no cost. At no cost. So it's never cost you anything so far. Come on, dig deep. Don't make me turn Bob Geldof on you. You don't want that. You know what he was like? He was terrible. He was like grasping and foul-mouthed. Well, I'll try not to do any of that, obviously. And I'll get shut down on YouTube. Or will I? Because, there are some modelers that can be a bit fruity with their language. But anyway. So, anyway, this is lot 4, in fact. Master mat again. But 48 scale. Here we go. You saw it again. Excuse me, I'm talking too much. Wasn't taken out of the bag. Just got it out to show you in the bags. Beautiful kit, all sealed as you can see. Look at that. That's lot 4. Price on this one. This one is a bit bigger, of course. So this one retails slightly more. Retails around the £11.50 mark. We're going to be selling at $8.99. Going up. That's the starting price. $8.99. Fantastic value. I mean, you might get the odd bargain, but it depends on the desirability of the item. But please don't hold back. Please remember where the money's going. It's certainly not coming to me. I'm not gaining anything. I'm losing 882 quid for the kits here. So that's my contribution. Give generously. God won't forgive you if you don't. It'll be worse than building a Matchbox kit if you fail me. Right, enough of that. Right, moving on. So, dum-dum-dum-dum. Right, now this one's important. This doesn't look so spectacular, but this item will become more significant very, very soon because it's the US Navy vehicles, World War II vehicles, paint set. Why is it significant? Well, it's significant because in the picture is the Burma Jeep, and ICM are going to be releasing this very, very soon, in the next few months, in fact. So please bear this in mind, because when that Burma Jeep comes out, which you'll see soon, you'll wish you'd got this paint set. And this is probably the bargain of the whole lot here. What have we got on the paint set? Yes, it's $10.95 sort of retail market price. When I tried to get the retail prices, I realised it was kind of irrelevant because the retail prices, nobody seems to sell at those. They all sell less anyway. So I've put on my list, it says RRP, but it's not. It's actually the market price, the sort of average market price that these go for. When you look at all the popular retailers, people like Chad Lamini models and people like that, and I've sort of averaged it out and said, well, that seems to be the average for that item. So they're going for $10.95, but we're selling at £8.50 or more. Now, if you bag that for a tenner, you'll be glad because you'll be ready for your Burma Jeep when it arrives. And I know a lot of you are looking forward to that kit as well. So there's another bargain for you. So that was number 5. Now getting to the sort of aircraft. Number 6, another beauty from Litarki, this new company in Ukraine. They're on the Dnipro River, actually, by the way. Dnipro. This is the nicer, I think, of the two kits. The single seat version. Well, the two kits are both as nice as each other, but I think that the aircraft, is a bit nicer. Somehow it seems more proportioned to me with the 2-seat option. And again, these come, if you remember, if you refer back to my review, it comes with resin parts, it comes with photo etch, it comes with a mask. They put everything that you need in the box. And it's a very interesting subject, a very agile little sort of fighter, this, that the Yugoslavs had. So this one, they're not cheap, these. But one or two people actually moaned and said they thought they were expensive. But that's because you're getting everything in the box. You don't need any aftermarket at all when you buy them. What are they doing on this one? So the average price is about just under £36, about £35.99. That's what you normally pay. We're starting at £26.50. Now that's one of the ones that's potentially a real bargain. You could well bag that for below list price or cheaper than you'd get it on the open market. But it depends how popular it is. And it's a very, very nice kit made in the Ukraine. So you remember that when you're bidding, please. Please remember what we're here doing it for. As Bob Geldof said, we're not here for the benefit of our health, we're here for the benefit of other people's health. Well, he didn't say it like that, he used a bit more colourful metaphors, but we won't worry about that. Anyway, moving on swiftly, another one you're going to like, this one, another one, What is not to like in this one? Eh? Very Ukraine specific. They've got the MiG-29 with the JDAM extra range bombs, freefall bombs. Sorry, the guided bombs, but they've got the pop-out wings. So they're guided and they've got the extra range because they actually glide, giving them very impressive performance. Again, you see the kit, you see it's sealed, all resealed, look. Okay, beautiful work. Ready for you. You can just forget that this was ever reviewed. I go in there like James Bond or a ninja or something, you know. Never know I've been in. I'm like a top burglar. But that's a beautiful kit. Now this one is actually another bargain, I've got to tell you seriously. So this one is actually, retails around about £22. Really? It's cheap, isn't it? And we're going to go on at $19.99 as our opening bid price. Please remember Ukraine. Yeah, brave Ukraine. That's what we're here for. Please be generous when you bid. Thank you very much for that. Next one. What have we got? Here we go. Right, it's the Mini Art. Now then, here's something I wanted to show you. Mini Art, and a Ukrainian company, as I said, they've moved out to Warsaw for very obvious reasons. It's another father-daughter sort of setup, very similar in some ways to ICM. Mini Art, very famous for having very part-heavy kits. But this one, it isn't sealed, of course. It doesn't come sealed from the factory. So I'm just going to very quickly just give you a flavour of what you can expect if you buy a kit in the auction from me and Jason. So here you go. Zoom you in. This is exactly what you're going to get. It's a completely sealed bag. You're thinking, hang on a minute, didn't he do a review? Yeah, but I had several editions of this, if you remember. I don't know if I said that at the time, but I actually bought a couple. One for two, did about three, I think, in total, for two of the friends. So here we have a sealed example. Absolutely beautiful. Although strangely, Mini Art don't seal the boxes. I don't know why. A bit like Tammy, I don't actually. Well, there you go. Now then, pricing. Ready for this? Mini Art. Very nice kit. It's very detailed, even though technically it's the basic kit, which means it just doesn't have the gun bays and stuff like that. But it does have an engine, doesn't it, if I recall. Remember that correctly? Or does it? No, I don't think it does. Memory's gone. Anyway, £36, which is actually a very good price. You get a lot of kit there, 36 quid. We're going to start at £27.99. Yeah, so you can see that we're pricing it sensibly. We're not being stupid. You know, the world's your oyster. That's a beautiful kit. And I actually paid money for that. I bought three. Two for two of the friends and one for myself. Struggling for space though, as I say, so I thought I'd include that because it seemed very germane. It's utterly mint, of course, in every respect. Now, moving on to the gets more exciting. You'll see that this will now ramp up and get more exciting as we go through. Here we go. Here is the next one, which I think is an absolute joy. And this is one of the multi-part or multi-element sets that we're doing. Are we ready? Now this is completely sealed from the factory. I haven't opened this at all because I did actually review them separately. There was the Mobile Chapel and the You Are Important to God figures set. So because of that reason, this has genuinely not been opened. This is completely factory fresh, just the same as you get in your local model shop. And you get a bonus with it. You get, just for the paints to help you out, we've also got the World War II British Infantry acrylic paint set to go with it. So that gives you the right colours to paint up your men. And I think this is going to be another bargain. You're getting a lot of stuff in one package, and the pricing will be, this is the value of the two things is £60, and we're going to start at £49.99. And I think that, you know, bearing in mind that that is literally a retail fresh example, and that's not been opened either. They're completely both as they came from the factory. Beautiful items, under 50 quid, a bargain. Just remember that there is postage on top. By the way, I mentioned postage. Just interject on that. I mean, I was looking on people like e-models, and you've got to pay postage on top with them as well, so it's no different. So it is a good price. But if you are outside the UK, postage is going to become more and more of a problem depending on where you are. if you're in the Canada, the States, South America, Africa, Asia, Australasia, New Zealand, I think that if you really want to help with this this appeal, if that's what you want to call it, this auction, then maybe just offer a donation. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to suggest what it should be. Whatever you want to give, a couple of dollars, $10, I don't know, anything, doesn't matter. €10, whatever. Just contact me and say I don't want to pay $25 or €25 for packaging, which is unfortunately what the shipping is horrendously expensive, I think, and it would put me off. But if you do want it, okay, but it's going to have to be. I haven't got contacts with loads of shipping companies, so I can't do it that way. So please let me know. If you'd like to help and just make a small donation, even $5 or €5 or something, it's absolutely fine. Whatever, two, one, anything. It's all welcome. It all helps to add up that total. And I'll give you the details on how to pay that into me, and we'll get it all bunched up together. Huddle all the money together into one great big total, which could be quite significant. I've actually shocked myself when I've added them all up, and I'm thinking, we might end up with £1,000 here. Wouldn't that be fantastic? That'd be a lovely target to aim for. My own target was about £500 or £600 in my mind, but there's more than I realised. But let me know if you want to make a contribution that way, because I say it's going to be super expensive to ship anywhere distances, and thank you for your support, obviously. But there you go. Isn't that a beautiful set? That's very tempting, If I had more space, I might build that myself. Make a fantastic diorama. Right, next, in a very similar vein, another absolute beauty. And where have I put it? There it is, right in front of me. Field Marshal Montgomery's office caravan with paint set. Now again, the paint set's never been opened. It's completely factory fresh. Specific for this kit, everything's there, gives you the two options, and it even gives you the paints for the interiors here. That is beautiful, absolutely stunning. So it's a little bit confusing the way they've shown that on the back. They've only shown one option, but it does in fact have the paints for all of these options, including the Germany 1945 one. So again, a really, really stunning sealed kit. Well, I say sealed, resealed really, but done beautifully, done by a pro. All right, this is not a cheap kit though, because this is full interior with interior included. It's a full interior kit. It's not just a lorry. What have we got here? This has got a total retail value of the two. It's actually £60 and £10, £70 in total. We're starting the bidding at £50. So again, well worth going for. Absolutely fantastic. You won't regret it. That's one of the best kits ICM have done this year. It's definitely, in my mind, it's already in the top 3 of the year. Now the next one is a little bit more complicated. I'm going to show it you anyway, but we have got a kind of a conquering bid already, a pre-bid on this one. This is again very similar. It's the Goulash Canon with the cook set, the German Wehrmacht field kitchen, and I keep calling him Swedish chef because he's so funny. It's a big fat German chef. Got a guy peeling his potatoes. One's chopping wood for the stove. Another one's actually putting water in the stove, getting ready for cooking time. And it's just everything you need to make a really fantastic diorama. Now this one may effectively be knocked out of the sale, so I just warn you that this is effectively, it's basically sold to Jason from Model Kit Stuff, who's actually made an offer of £100, which is extremely generous, and very much in the spirit of what we're trying to get to here. This is raising money for people in a country that's been absolutely devastated after an invasion and is nightly under aerial assault, completely innocent civilians being killed, in the middle of the night. An absolutely terrifying scenario, and every penny that we can raise is going to them, and also to this animal charity that we split. As I say, 75% goes to the civilians, 25% to the animal charity to rescue animals that get absolutely terrified. There was a thing the other day where there was a young lady actually with a boyfriend. She was she'd rescued her cat and and had to move cities, and this poor cat was, you can see, it was really very, very attached to this young lady, but you could see that when they had to move it, it was terrified. It's just awful, really. So, Jason, thank you very much indeed, my friend. Ironically, this one is still factory sealed. Again, I've never reviewed this because I didn't need to. Again, I've done the three different kits. I've done them all separately. So, ironically, it's got a slight tear. This was our famous Parcel Force man, but this is still factory sealed, even though it's got just a slight tear there. That's just the way it came, and there's a slight dishing at the back. My Parcel Force man thinks it's cool to. He drops the box on the ground, and I keep telling him it's got delicate parts in it. One of these days, I tell you. Oh, count to 10. This guy brings out the worst in me, I'll tell you. One of these days, son, we're going to have a frank exchange of views. I've told him. But he flips it over and he scans it out, don't work. He flips it over and drops it back on the ground. I think, dude, this has got 120 quid's worth of very delicate stuff in it, you idiot. Anyway, I'm confident there's no damage, don't worry. It's just, this is the bit that was at the end where the box was slightly dished in. But it's a beautiful kit. It's one of the most characterful ones of the lot, I think. There's some very amusing touches in there. Anyway, Jason's effectively got that one, so I'm sorry, you can't have it. Just teasing you. But you can have the next one. So this one is... Ooh, this one is something very special. Hang on a second. This one's going to set the pulsers racing, I think. How about the Bristol Beaufort Mark 1A? Big torpedo bomber, World War II, Royal Air Force. No messing. You've got Southeast Asia Royal Air Force, you've got Tactical Training Unit and the Operational Training Units. This is a nice kit, especially this big torpedo. So what have we got here? We've got a £60 kit, and we're starting the bidding at $47.99. All beautifully sealed, as you see. Very nice indeed. What a beauty. So that's that one. And then we've got, I know one of my other regular subscribers, he's also made a pre-bid on this, and this even got quite a few of our hearts racing, and it's the Hanomag half track. Look at this. I wonder if Stuart's interested in this one. It's the sort of thing that he likes. This is a real beauty, yeah. So this is the sort of standard general purpose 251/1 House B Hanomag. It comes with 4 options as well, 4 different painting options on the side, including the you've got the Africa Corps, and I think they include, yes they are. Oh yes, I forgot to say that, didn't I? ICM don't mess about. They include real Africa Corps markings, not like some other manufacturers. We've got the Eastern Front, we've got Romania, and we've got the Balkans in 1941. So it's really got some latitude, that kit, and it will go in any 135th Military German scene. It'll just look right. It comes with really nice sort of tyres and things like that. Beautiful kit. And Bobby G is very keen on this, and he's offered me £40. So I'll put that down. £40 will be the starting price because that's what Bobby G's offered. So it's actually retails for about 36. So again, he's been quite generous. Seen the bigger picture, said yeah, I'll give you 40 quid for it. You got a bid more? Let me know. Let me know. And on any of these, let me know in advance if any of them are of great interest or you want to bid on them in advance, and we'll make you the starting bidder in the room. Next one, something very recent indeed. I'm running out of space here. Something incredibly recent and really, really nice. Super 61 is down. Black Hawk down. Black Hawk down. Fantastic set. This Black Hawk helicopter, complete with the paint set for the US Special Military Operations. Perfect. Just what you need for Black Hawk down, or indeed a number of the other kits that they've produced. So this one, you saw it just a few days ago. Obviously it's the Operation Gothic Serpent in Mogadishu, 1993. This one is retailing for £54. I just realised that I made a mistake there. It's actually £64 because it's 54 and £10 for the paints, and I'm not including the paint sets. I've made a slight mistake here. So it's going to be effectively £64. We're going to start the bidding at £44 because I haven't changed the number. Now there's 44 quid, the proper Black Hawk Down. You've seen the movie, and ICM are bringing out the full crew set as well, coming very soon. So come on, what is not to like there? That's an absolutely fantastic pairing to have the paints and the kit, and then all you need to do is buy the crew, which is only going to cost about, I don't know, £10 or £12. That's going to be a perfect diorama. You know, you can have the thing crashed or whatever. You can imagine it at Telford, can't you? Places like that as a finished diorama. Amazing. That's going to be a bargain. So that one I've actually made a mistake on, because I've just realised it's £54, I think, just for the kit. Anyway, 44 quid is the starting price. Then, and they're getting to the last ones now, really getting the really impressive, glamorous stuff. What have we got? We have got something absolutely massive. I'm having trouble now with my balance of my kits, just bear with me. But we've got something truly large coming up now. Enormous. Oh, I'm struggling to pick it up. I'm struggling to pick several of these up now. I'm going to get it in front of you while I try and rearrange the rest. Look at these AA guns of the Wehrmacht. Now I've got to tell you that I'm going to put this now. I've got a crisis of space around me. Right, you go on there, you go on there, you go on there. That's right. 3 kits in one diorama set. Look at this. So this is the AA guns of the Wehrmacht. Small, medium and very large. Yeah, really impressive stuff. I've reviewed these separately, of course, so I didn't actually do the review on this in the end because I didn't actually realise until it arrived, and I thought, oh, actually it's the ones I've done. But this one in particular, it's got this drop down sides to the truck and everything. Absolutely brilliant. Again, just the thing for a sort of a diorama setting. And a proper meaty kit. This is not a cheap kit either. How many parts are in this? We've got 254 parts for one, 240 parts for the other, 402 parts for this one. So what's that? That's about 800 parts, isn't it? 850 parts. Best part of 900 parts in that kit. Fantastic kit. Price wise, £80 in the shops. We're starting at £65. This is sealed from the factory and has never been owned by me or anybody else. Still factory sealed as original, and you've got all these beautiful different schemes for the 3 vehicles on the side. That's one of the premium kits in the sale because it hasn't been opened. So that's that one. Then, get to the last few. Then we've got one which I think you'll find quite exciting as a theme, because several people really like this when they saw it, mainly because it's got this unusual scheme. It's the JU88, the captured one, yeah, with the colours of it's the RAF or USAF AAF option. USAF in Italy or RAF in the UK. A beautiful kit, lovely decal scheme, some interesting paint effects needed. So you need to be on your A game if you're going to do this American captured one. A very nice model kit though, for sure. 48 scale. Got a lot of presence and very nicely packaged. Again, I mean, this is what I like about ICM. You get these kits, and instead of you do that with the box, there's virtually no sound. You can't hear any parts moving around. It's so well packaged. Yeah, beautiful item that. Absolutely lovely colours and artwork as well. Price wise, this one's £62 in the shops. We're going to be starting selling at £47.50. And remember again, when I quote the prices, this is just to get your juices flowing and think, well, actually, let's go for that, because what have you got to lose, And if you end up paying £10 over, then you've just made a £10 donation to Ukraine to help them. That's all. Thank you very much for that. Hope you'll bear that in mind when you're bidding, because that one looks a very exciting kit indeed. And anybody would enjoy having that. Now the next one is kind of a no-brainer as well. Very much in a similar vein. the B26G Marauder, the American or French option version. And if you remember, there are 3 versions of it, 1 French and 2 American. One's the metallic finish, one's got the sort of camo finish, and one's the French one. Kit of the year 2024 for me. Phil Florey's just finished his pretty much, and it looks amazing. He's really enjoyed it and really rated it as well. I think he actually also made it kit of the year if I remember correctly. Excuse me. But it's got beautiful decals, fantastic artwork, and it's got that incredible clear part, transparent parts in this are just incredible. They're some of the best you'll ever see, frankly. Polished by a young man with his bamboo stick, the tool is anyway. And it's one of their secret weapons, isn't it? And you can see how we've looked at a few of the older tool stuff, and you can see the difference. You can see the difference. That's a fantastic kit. Retailing for about £67. We're going to sell at $49.99. Okay, so that's nearly £18 off list starting price, and a beautiful, lovely example. If you remember, this one again, I didn't open the bags. I went in to show you the decals and the instructions, but I didn't open the bags, so it's a sealed kit inside, not been messed about with, not been touched at all. And again, there's a lot of kit in there, and there's virtually no rattle whatsoever because it's so beautifully packaged. Again. So, what does that leave us then? There's just 2 to go, 2 more. I've sort of started forgetting to tell you the lot numbers, haven't I? But the next one for me, the next 2 are the highlights of the auction, frankly. And the first one is very Ukraine and very topical indeed. And it's a multi-element package which I'm offering, which is retailing at about just £90. But we're going to be starting at £65, and it's the following. There's actually several kits here, several kits in one, but it's mighty impressive. And it's this: Before the Assault, Eastern Ukraine 2022. Not sure why they dated it, but anyway, they probably thought that the war wouldn't continue as long, I suppose, which is understandable. You've got this complete set with the Cossack 2 MRAP vehicle. You've got the Special Assault Team. You've got the spotter. You've got the gunner. You've got the driver. It's got lots of figures in this. If you like your figures, you're in for it. There's even 2 attractive young ladies with controlling drones. One's actually flying the drone. One's launching it. Complete set. But we don't stop there. That's just the beginning. Then we have the Armed Forces of Ukraine insignias and the arm patch, a genuine woven arm patch, which you can put on your assault jacket or just put it on the wall. We've got digital camo included, which is absolutely perfect for this. I've got to say, or if you got any other vehicles. And you've got, for your figures, you've got all the different various regiments of the Armed Forces of the Ukraine. So frankly, you know, the world's your oyster. It's even got the rank insignias as well. This is actually only retailing on its own. This is sealed, by the way. But remember, I didn't open it. I was going to, but I didn't in the end. Completely sealed from the factory, so I've never opened that. Retails for about £16, and it's a bargain, really. You get quite exciting stuff in there. On top of that, we've got the dragon's teeth to make a diorama out of it. You can have them, you know, getting ready to assault near where the dragon's teeth are, the defences, anti-tank obstacles. Very, very germane, perfect to go with this set. And then last but not least, Special Forces paint set, which actually you can use for American troops as well. But it's got such a good array of paints that they very much lend themselves to the Ukrainian colours as well. Now, it doesn't have the complicated sort of digital camo style that some of the Ukrainian armed forces do wear. But in truth, from what I've seen recently, they're not all using that anymore anyway. And I think it's not used in the winter, and it's not. I think that they're quite expensive to produce, so they've gone to a more American style. There may be American outfits, I don't know. But the special forces for you, your Ukrainian special forces could easily be used. Those paints, you've got again 6 paint set. Very, very useful to go with that. So there you go. We're asking for £65 starting price for a £90. Sorry, £65 for a £90 set in the shops. it's worth going for, and you really do get a bit of everything. That MRAP Kozak is a brilliant vehicle. Really got presence, great clear parts again. It's a beautiful set. Really, really worth having. So there you go, all beautifully packed and sealed. And finally, the very last one. It's kind of predictable, this, isn't it? Really, I suppose. And it's the one, I think it's the one that I last actually reviewed, which is go back to the theme of the VE Day 80th commemoration. We've got the VE Day 80th commemoration Conquerors of Europe Sky complete set with the Mark 16 Spitfire, P-51D Mustang and the American B-26 C Marauder. And it's a beautiful set. This, again, remember, if you watched my review the other day, I did not open the bag for this. I looked at this and looked at this, but we didn't look at this for the same reasons, because we've already done the review on it many times. So it's a completely unopened sealed bag from the factory with the full Marauder kit in it, which is so beautiful quality. Fantastic clear parts, as I mentioned earlier. And then you've got all these options. Oh, they give you, I think, 3 different options on the Marauder alone. So you've got 3 really nice schemes. You've got Daffy Duck and you had Mickey Mouse and all sorts. Quite an attractive lady, I think, bending over or something. But some nice sort of nose art and decals. And then you get your P-51 Mustang. And these are slightly older tool, of course, as we discussed, but this is the kit of the year. This is new tool, of course. What a fantastic set. I mean, I'm now surrounded by these kits. You can't see it on camera, obviously, but they're all a bit higgledy-piggledy where I've had to put them down. That is the auction, then, for Ukraine. I wanted to raise £600. I think we'll raise more than that. I think we'll raise quite a lot more, in fact. But only with your help. Only with your help. So please be generous. Let's only have people that are genuine. I'm sure the regulars will be on there bidding for things. But don't hold back. You know, it's all about raising some funds really that are very badly needed. And the more we can do, if we can have a few beers and a few laughs while we're doing it. I will just say though, can we keep the chat down a bit once the actual bidding starts? What we might do is we might have a little break, a couple of little breaks. It's probably going to take about 90 minutes, I think. So it's probably going to be done by 10 o'clock at night, I hope so anyway. We don't want to do like Jason and I last time. That was different now, but we were just chatting away from there and a pair of us went off and it was 11 o'clock, 2.5 hours. It won't be like that. This will be a lot more focused. So on the bigger items like this, we're probably going to be bidding on those for about maybe 5 or 6 minutes, and on the smaller ones perhaps 3 minutes, you know, something like that anyway. But we'll have a couple of breaks so we can have a little bit of time for people to get a toilet break and a quick beer break or whatever, a cup of tea or whatever, to give you a chance to and then have a little chat, you know, and then we'll say, right, we're going to restart. So what we'll probably do it in like the first 6, the second 6, do it in 6s almost, you know. But do remember that first kit, you need to tell me if you're interested, if you want to pre-order. There's only one of them, of course, I'm afraid, but I will need to review it, so it will get handled with the black gloves. So that's the Litaki Tu-22M3 Backfire C bomber with cruise missiles in the services of the AFU. Let me know if that's of interest as soon as you can, as soon as you see that, and I'll put some photos on YouTube as posts so you can have a look at these in closer detail in case you missed any of it. And we hope to see you on Monday, so it's probably going to be at 7:45, I think, my usual slot, Monday night, and it's probably going to run till about, well, I can't say for sure, but certainly probably 9:30 onwards, maybe even 10 o'clock, but we don't want to go any longer than that. Please bid honestly, please, you know, don't change your mind or anything like that, because as I say, it's taken a bit of organising. It's great that Jason's going to help me because he's going to be really eagle-eyed watching the bids and shouting them out, and he'll be recording them as well at the end, and I'll be sort of more your compere for the evening style. It's very good that he's offered to his time as well, and between us there's a fair bit of effort, and in my case £882 for the kids. Now I know I didn't have to pay £882 because a lot of them did get, you know, donated by ICM, but isn't it nice that we can pay it forward or pay it back into Ukraine and help people again who do need it, and animals who do need it as well. So please help, and I look forward to your support. Thank you very much for watching this. Hope you thought it was interesting, and you're now ready and excited and buzzing, ready to get bidding. The items you will be bidding on are exactly what you've seen here, and I look forward to seeing you on Monday evening. Jason will look forward to you as well, and please bear in mind it's a live show, so watch what you say in the chat. We don't want any fruity language or anything like that, and please be genuine with your bids. During the bidding itself, try and keep the comments to the minimum, because we don't want to be distracted by a lot of chit chat once the bidding is underway. We want it to be quite a serious auction that way. But I say we'll have breaks where we can have a few laughs and a bit of a chuckle about it in between. Until then, thank you very much for watching. Please, please, please support these charities. If you can't bid because you're not local, if you're in Australia or New Zealand or Canada or America, whatever, and you'd like to help, please just drop me a line on my usual Mr. Matchboxes. What else would my email address be? Oops. What else could it possibly be? Eh? MrMatchboxes@gmail.com. There we are. That's me. So please drop me a line if you just want to make a small donation, and it can be anything entirely up to you. It doesn't matter. It won't be disclosed. But you will be named as having helped support, the effort, and it would be really great, if people just want to give, $2, $3, $4, $5, $10, whatever. Doesn't matter. All very gratefully received by those people who need it, I'm sure. And there we go. We'll try and make it entertaining if we can. I think the fact that Jason's helping me, it would have been a nightmare without help, really, because it's just no way one person could handle that. There's too many things going on and too many things to record, and yeah, I think if one can be talking and presenting, the other one can be noting things down and taking in the bids and confirming it. And after every successful bid, have a drink, and then we move on to the next one. But it shouldn't take that long. I think it'll be good fun. So let's see if we can have some fun on the VE Day, commemorative anniversary of VE, 80 years of VE Day, and hopefully this war in Ukraine will also end the right way and end soon, and they can have a victory day as well. That would be very nice, but we certainly want to stop seeing the bloodshed. I think everybody feels that way. In the meantime, we'll do what we can to help. Thanks very much for watching. Give us a like. Don't forget to give us a like. Many thanks, by the way, to ICM and Litaki especially. Both these people have been very kindly offering the kits, and especially ICM, because they provide so many and such high value. Well, I hope that they appreciate, I'm sure they will, that we are now turning that into a real positive. It's a positive thing for them. They get, I get to help them market the product, and now we're going to use that as fuel, if you like, to actually generate some revenue that goes back into their country and helps other people and the civilians, the ones who need the most. So thanks very much. That's it from me. Take care of yourselves. I hope to see you on Monday, 7:45, Monday the 5th, so that's UK time, of course. 7:45 PM, Monday the 5th of May. Can't wait. It's going to be great fun. I'm sure it'll be entertaining in more ways than one, but at the end of the day, it's all for a good cause, and let's all enjoy it and do some good between us. I'll see you then. Until then, stay well, stay safe. Thanks for all your support. Take care of yourselves. See you on Monday. Cheers. Bye for now.